Today, we're going to be talking about monuments, and we're going to look at some important monuments and talk about why they're there. Now, before we look at some of the important monuments in Louisiana around the country, I want to talk about the second question, why they're there. And to understand why we build monuments, it's important to understand our qualities of citizenship. Remember that our qualities of citizenship are the things that we can do to be good citizens, to be good Americans. First, we can show trustworthiness. That means doing what we say we're going to do. That means people can trust us and rely on us. Second, we can show honesty. That means telling the truth even when it's hard. Third, we can show patriotism. That means showing love and respect for your country. Lastly, we can show courage. Courage means being brave and doing the right thing even when it's hard. Now, you may know the qualities of citizenship, and you want to be a good citizen. That's where monuments come in. Monuments teach us what it means to show these different qualities of citizenship. They're kind of like role models. So, for example, our first monument is the Washington Monument. The Washington Monument was built in honor of the first president of the United States, George Washington. Now, George Washington was known for his honesty. He told the truth even when it was hard, even when he could get in trouble. Now, to honor George Washington for being honest, we built the Washington Monument. And that teaches Americans everywhere when they see it that they should be honest, like George Washington. On your worksheet, you have several different monuments under Part 1. I want you to find the Washington Monument and find the question under it that asks, what is it? To answer that question, write Washington Monument. The next question you see is, where is it? To answer that question, write Washington, D.C. That's the capital of our country. We put the Washington Monument in the capital of our country to show everyone that this is what we think is important. This is the Washington Monument at night. Next is the Louisiana State Capitol. You should learn to recognize this building because a lot of important decisions that impact your community are made in this building. This is where the leaders of our state get together to make new laws and pass new taxes and a lot of other important things that impact your community. The Louisiana State Capitol is located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So find the Louisiana State Capitol on your worksheet. And to answer the question, what is it? Write the Louisiana State Capitol. To answer the question, where is it? Write in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This map shows us that Baton Rouge is in the southeast part of the state. Here's the Louisiana State Capitol at night. Next comes St. Louis Cathedral and Jackson Square. These are located in New Orleans, Louisiana, right where we live. In fact, you've probably seen them in the French Quarter. Now, we have these monuments to remind us of our history and our culture. These remind us of the French settlers that came to Louisiana and built some of the first churches in the state. It also reminds us of Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was known for his courage and for his patriotism. He fought bravely in battles for his country. Now, Andrew Jackson also had some bad qualities. Andrew Jackson was also very cruel to Native Americans. Do you think we should build monuments to people that are cruel to Native Americans? Anyways, let's go on to the next monument. The next monument is the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. The Liberty Bell comes from the early days of our country when we were fighting for our freedom. And it's again there to remind us of our history and how important freedom is to our country. Find the Liberty Bell on your worksheet and answer the question, what is it, by writing the Liberty Bell. And answer the question, where is it, by writing Philadelphia. The next monument we're going to talk about is the White House in Washington, D.C. Now, the White House, as seen in this picture, or seen from these pictures from two different sides, is where the president lives. The president is the leader of our country, so we want a place that is special and a monument that will remind us of how important the president is to our country. Find the White House on your worksheet, write White House and Washington, D.C. The next monument is the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial is also in Washington, D.C. A lot of these monuments are found in Washington, D.C. That's the capital of our country. Now, the Lincoln Memorial is there to honor Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was known for his trustworthiness. We have a big statue of Abraham Lincoln inside, just to remind us that we should also be trustworthy like Abraham Lincoln. Copy this information down in your notes. Now, we talked about several different monuments. I want you to start sorting these monuments by the ones that are monuments just for the state of Louisiana and monuments for the whole United States. So the ones that are in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, those are monuments of the state of Louisiana. But the ones that are located outside of Louisiana, those are monuments for the whole United States. So, for example, when we look at the Lincoln Memorial is not in Louisiana. It's a monument for the whole country. So the Lincoln Memorial will go under monuments for the whole state. I want you to sort the rest of the monuments on your worksheet into monuments for the whole state and monuments for the monuments for the state of Louisiana and monuments for the whole United States. I hope your handwriting is better than mine. All of those monuments in Louisiana are going to be in either New Orleans or Baton Rouge. And there's the symbol LA that stands for Louisiana, and you'll see that next to them. Now, I have this big, thick crayon, so I couldn't fit mine in my box. I want you to fit all of your monuments into your box, showing which monuments are in Louisiana and which monuments are not. After you finish that part, you're going to have another section where you're going to create a map. This is going to be a monument map. And I already have symbols here for all the different monuments. Your job is to put these symbols on the map where they're located. So first I have Washington Monument. If you go back to your notes, you'll see that the Washington Monument is located in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is this big dot right here, Washington. So I'm going to put my symbol for Washington Monument right next to Washington, D.C. My symbol is a smiley face. Oops, couldn't quite fit it. Now, make sure that your symbols are small, because next is the Lincoln Memorial. The symbol is a heart. The Lincoln Memorial is also in Washington, D.C. So outside, also put a heart near Washington, D.C. to show that the Lincoln Memorial is also located in Washington, D.C. After you place all of these different symbols on your map, you'll be ready to move on to your exit ticket. Great job. I'll see you next time.